Boom shakalaka, after Bitcoin breaks through support for a much needed cool off, here's a few more reasons to be cautiously optimistic in the long term. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin price crash / cool off and being cautiously optimistic for the future. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, it helps out so much. Now today, fear and greed at 65, still in greed, but down from yesterday's 73, last week's 74. The overall market down 3% today, yowza. Bitcoin at 49.80, Ethereum at 21.34, BNB at 2.34, XRP 58 cents, Solana $68, Cardano 55 cents, Avalanche $37, and Dogecoin 8 cents. And Bitcoin breaking through this line of support we were talking about the past few days. Next likely level, aside from the big even of $40,000 where we may find a bit of support, would be where the convergence of the 50-day moving average and this support level right now at 38.6. That would be the next likely support level for Bitcoin. Now this coming after a likely cool off that was needed around $44,000. Taking a look at the value days destroyed multiple, it got up to levels where historically we saw a bit of resistance and a bit of a pullback. The only time it goes higher is during cycle peaks, and we all clearly know this isn't yet the cycle peak. Fingers crossed. Now, the present value of the Mayer multiple also at the 1.5 level, this dashed line right here, which historically also has been resistance. So we have a whole bunch of suggested reasons for this resistance in Bitcoin price. Maybe it just didn't have legs yet. Maybe got a little bit overheated. Maybe it needs a little bit more time to work on this. But there's not much time coming because we're 91% of the way to the halving. Now, as you can see here, gentle upslope with a black swan in the middle of it. But we have two big events which are pretty well correlated with Bitcoin parabolic numbers go up territory. Number one, the halving. Number two, the spot ETF. Nope, not the spot ETF. Number two would be presidential elections here in gray, very strongly correlated with Bitcoin parabolic growth. So both of those things could be sending Bitcoin up in the near future. You have to remember, on a grander scale, looking at the Heikin-Ashi candles, it's all up green followed by a down red, all up green, down red. We are in all up green territory. So while there is going to be some volatility, we're generally going to be going all up for a little while longer. As a matter of fact, we could be forming a giant inverse head and shoulders for Bitcoin. You can see the left shoulder here, a giant head here, and then should we touch the neckline right around $80,000 and come back down and touch it again, we would have a giant head and shoulders, which should send Bitcoin price into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not only that, but if we take a look at the Bitcoin money supply on the monthly Bollinger Bands, it's above the monthly Bollinger Bands for the first time since 2016. This was when Bitcoin did 100x. It did not do this in previous cycles since then, but could we be in for 100x for Bitcoin? Potentially, because this time we have an issue with liquidity supply we'll be getting into shortly. Before we get into that, every time the DAX index, which is right up here, has broken into a new all-time high, Bitcoin has rallied significantly. 2013, 2017, 2020, and once again 2023, we could be seeing a significant rally correlated with that DAX index new all-time high. Because guess what? Bitcoin is just better than everything else. Has better risk-adjusted returns than all other assets, including classic assets like the US 10-year gold S&P, including Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, Nvidia. Beats all of them. No matter what you take a look at, Bitcoin has a much higher return with the same drawdown as many of these. So being better than any other asset out there, let's take a look at where the money is moving. Well, apparently, over the past week, roughly $20 billion flowing into Bitcoin and Ethereum per day. This is around the same capital inflows that were seen back before Bitcoin price went from $18,000 to $65,000. And the market is nowhere near as heated up as it was back then. I don't think so. At least that's my opinion. And if we take a look at the spent output profit ratio, the SOPR, we can see that Bitcoin investors are waiting for higher prices, presently unwilling to sell. So This tracks the profit of coins when they sell to new investors, climb while the price drop. This has only happened when investors with significant profit are selling. Most people are waiting for the price to go much, much higher, because over the next 2 years, we could have generational gains. If we take a look at every halving, you can see the year and a half leading up to it, kind of big gains. But the year and a half after it, absolutely insane, monumental, life-changing gains. And we have the halving, the spot ETF, and the presidential election all coming. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.